Today I want to get real with you and I want to talk to you about the realities of building a business. As you may already know, I am what I would call a solopreneur, which is an entrepreneur, someone that's starting a business completely alone. And I've been documenting a little bit about my journey here and in my social media platforms. But the fact of the matter is that when you are a solopreneur, when you are someone that's building a business and you are an entrepreneur, there are many factors that people don't take into account. Getting out of debt and building a business in my 20s, it sounds amazing and beautiful, and it sounds like something awesome to hear on Instagram or YouTube or wherever you may hear it from. But no one tells you about the isolation. When I was paying off my personal debt, working full-time job and raising my kids and being married and having to dedicate time to that, and also being in different other social responsibilities or personal responsibilities that I had to let go of a lot of things. I had to let go of and say no to many things that I didn't. Weddings, invites to different birthday parties or different situations. I had to many times to say no to wanting to buy food when I really wanted to buy food and I was craving. I had a lot of things that I had to say no to, and I had to learn the power of that strong word that no one wants to use, that is no. Here's the reality of the dark side and the hard side and the dark and real truth of leveling up and doing the things that you want to begin to accomplish. It's not as easy as you think it is. It is not all sunshine and butterflies and just easy and just going to be something that you're going to be able to accomplish, and you're just going to be able to be financially free with no sacrifice whatsoever. That's not the reality for most people. The difference between my situation of being in my 20s and other friends of mine in their situation in their 20s is that they were out there posting in their stories of being in the club and of being in bars and of hanging out at the beach and of being in vacations, and maybe that was their situation. But my 20s was very much different. While I did go on some vacations, I wasn't really going on vacations very often. And while others were at the bar, I was focusing on paying my car off. A car that I was very much in debt in. And while others were at the bar and full of debt with their vehicle and full of debt in student loans, I was focusing on paying mine off. And the difference is that in order for me to pay mine off, then what I had to many times do is stay at home. What I had to many times do was not waste money, not spend money on things that I shouldn't spend money on. And I'm not going to lie to you, there were times where I did spend money. There were times where I did do the things I shouldn't have done. But as much as I did sometimes do that, there were tons of times where I didn't do that. Where many were out there, friends of mine, going to all parts of Europe and all parts of the world, but I was stuck at home. Maybe doing one vacation a year instead of 3, 4, 5 vacations a year, where I could have afforded it with my salary, but I couldn't really afford it and at the same time get ahead on paying off my debt. The dream of being able to be debt free wasn't a dream that came with complete freedom of whatever I wanted to do. It came with restricting myself many times. And that's the reality that many people don't talk about. That beginning to accomplish your goals means beginning to sacrifice the things you really want to do sometimes. That is the truth behind it. I cannot begin to explain to you the many and millions of times and hundreds of times that I had to sit down and say, no, we're not going to McDonald's. No, I'm not going to go to Applebee's. No, I'm not going to go to that restaurant. No, we're not going on that vacation. No, we're not doing this massive thing. And I don't really need a big gift because you know what? I'd rather not get a gift and I'd rather be debt free. Many times that is the reality of what I had to say. In order to save up, to begin to live freely, to begin to pay off my debt, I had to say no many, many times. Hangouts were something that began to become more of a waste of money and stopping me from accomplishing my goals instead of the thing that was supposed to be, that is for everyone, is fun. The fact of the matter is that every single yes that you give to outing, to a party, to dinner, to drinks, to trips, to vacations, every single yes that you give is a distraction from the things that you want to accomplish. Every single yes that I gave was a distraction to the goals that I wanted for my family. Every yes to a distraction is a no to your family's freedom. Every single yes that you gave is a distraction to the things that you want to accomplish. And I get it. There has to be a fine line and certain level of balance. The concept of balance is many times taken too much and too far, because many times people are seeking balance, but they're not really too balanced at all. And many times they seek balance as if it were the only solution for happiness. And my opinion personally is that while balance is very much important to a certain extent, if you have a period of time where you want to sacrifice and then you have a period of time where you're not sacrificing as much, I consider that balance as well. I have gone years of sacrificing in order to accomplish saving up for my home, in order to accomplish being debt free, and accomplish all these things I want to accomplish. But I know that the future is coming and that I will balance myself out by living a life in the future that is free, that is healthy, that is where I am completely more, a lot better and more stable in my finances, where I have finally given my family many more things. Right? It's not forever that I plan to be able to, that I plan on being restrictive of my budget, but I plan on being restrictive for a period of time until I accomplish my goals, and then I begin to loosen up on the restrictions. Balance isn't something you necessarily have to have in every single period of time. I think balance is found throughout time instead of just every single moment of life. I think there are moments that will not allow you to have balance. I have kids, and the reality is that my kids many times don't allow me to have balance. I have to be able to juggle a million different things, and some things are gonna dedicate more time than others. Some things are gonna need more time than others, and there will come a time where my kids will grow up, and maybe they don't need as much time, and my the idea of balance now will change later. So balance shifts as we go, and not only that, balance shifts as time shifts. So think of balance more as something that is through time and throughout time, and not every single moment. Maybe right now your idea of balance is saving up a ton so that later on you can balance it out by spending a lot more then when you are at a better place economically. Many times throughout this journey of doing things differently, I had many people that judge me for not doing and managing my money the way I should. I should be able to spend more, and I should be able to have more fun, and you're just cheap and you're just that. And honestly, I could care less what it is that people are saying, especially if their situation is that they're broke. If you are struggling and you're full of debt, you're no one to really tell me that I should live this way or that way. You're struggling yourself, buddy. So the fact of the matter is, you can't allow the crabs that are in the bucket that you're reaching into, those people that are snapping at you and telling you how to live your life when they haven't really figured it out themselves, to tell you how to manage your life. If you want to do things differently, go ahead, accomplish those goals, be different. Don't be like the norm, because the norm is broke. That's the reality when it comes to finances. Outgrow the situation that you're in. In my case, I've had to outgrow many things. Debt freedom, that isn't something common in my circles. In my personal Hispanic circles, debt freedom, I'm one of the only people I know that is debt free. Matter of fact, when I think about it deeply, I can't think of one friend that is debt free. Almost all of my friends are having some level of debt. And while I respect it truly and I love them, the reality is that many times being different is going to come with some level of judgment. And not everyone that is around you is going to judge you. That's not my message. But my message is, if you are hearing people judge you because of maybe their lack of discipline, because they think that your level of doing things is not the right way, you know what? You keep on focusing on your goal. You keep on sitting there and doing and being consistent for your family, and not listening to people that are maybe just lazy and don't want to and don't have the strength to do the things that you are doing now. I didn't think many times that it was going to get better. Many times I felt low because of the fact of many words of others. But if you continue focusing, if you continue hitting the goal, if you continue going toward it every single day, little by little, your priorities will change. Little by little, things will begin to change for you and begin to look better. And before you know it, you'll be before the goal, you'll be at the goal, and you'll look back and you'll say, you know what? I'm glad I never listened to those people who were telling me to do the opposite. Because now I'm here and I look back and they're still stuck in the same place. It's something saddening. But the reality is that the whole concept of this is not to think that you're better than anyone. It's simply to do what you need to do to accomplish the goals that you want to get to and that you want to give your family. If you need to be different, be different. I love what Dave Ramsey says. We love, that's the whole Ramsey concept. They love people that are weird. Being weird is better than being normal. Because being normal many times is broke, is millions of dollars in debt, is being struggling your whole entire life, and mediocrity. So if you don't want to be mediocre, be weird, be different, and be okay with that. Don't look down on people and think that you're high and mighty. No, don't be prideful, but at the same time, put your priorities straight and focus on those, no matter what anybody says. And now, as I've talked about all these different things, I want to bring you back into this reality. Being wealthy, accomplishing success, whatever your level of, whatever success is for you, whatever the goal is for you, being wealthy and being successful in your life isn't about being the wolf of Wall Street. It's boring. It's spreadsheets. It's quiet weekends. It's sitting down on your budgeting app and looking through it. It's saying no to the outings when everybody is in the destination wedding and you had to say no and you're home because you know what? I'm focused on my goal. Many times accomplishing the goals means that, and it sucks. It sucks. But long term, it is 100% worth it if it means accomplishing the goal that you want to accomplish. The things you say yes to ultimately, as I said before, take a higher priority than the goals that you want to reach. So think about that every single time you make a decision. I understand you can't just be home every single day of your life. There has to be some level of you being able to go out with your kids or maybe going out with your wife. I do believe in that. I do believe that doing and being so restrictive when you can't handle it will bring about burnout. But if you, as far as you can handle, do what you need to do to accomplish your goals. Being successful means repeating the same exact thing day after day, month after month, being disciplined and doing that time after time after time, showing up when you don't want to, saying no when you want to say yes. Saying yes to yourself and saying no to the desires of not missing out on the things that are just common to normalness, to more mediocrity. If you want to be mediocre, go ahead, say yes every single time. But if you want to be debt free, if you want to be financially free, if you want to accomplish goals, show up time after time after time. And not only that, be willing to be different. Be willing to say no to the common things that the world wants to tell you and culture wants to tell you is normal. Being full of debt is not okay. It shouldn't be normal, but it is. It is. We preach it like if it's just something we have to live with for our whole life, but why? Why do we have to live with the anxiety of debt? Why do we have to live with the shackles of feeling like you always have to pay these bills and like the money you work for so hard has to go to these companies with interest, by the way? Again, being normal sucks. I refuse to be normal. I will choose to be weird every single time, and I would choose to see my success and being able to see my goals accomplished every single time. And when the time comes for me to spend more, I'm happy and I will be free to do it without any debt and with much more money in my bank. So you know what? If being weird means what I have to do for this period of time, or being weird is what you have to do for this period of time, be weird. Don't be normal, because normal sucks. if you're in the lonely part of this whole process of being able to accomplish your goals and succeeding in life, if that is the process you're in right now and you're lonely, let me tell you, that's not the case. You're not the only one out there accomplishing these goals. Look at the Ramsey fans that are out there with Dave Ramsey. Look at the Hormozi fans that are out there sacrificing and putting in the work every single time to build the goals that they want to accomplish. You're not alone. If you're in that lonely phase of building your life right now, drop something in the comments saying that's me. Put your hands up, put the 100 sign, put the check mark, whatever you want to put. Drop something in the comments. You aren't alone. And if you're interested in all of this, subscribe. If you want to keep on building on yourself together. Again, I'm a solopreneur. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you are an entrepreneur, or you have been an entrepreneur, support with subscribing, giving a like, putting a comment, or follow me. If you want more information, you could contact me via santosfinancialstrategy.com. There's multiple ways of contacting me through there. And again, thank you so much for watching to this point. And remember, here you will find your path to freedom.